Self-talk is an extremely powerful tool. Your internal dialogue that you have with yourself on a daily basis will dictate exactly how you show up in the world. All the magic that you're looking for happens just outside your comfort zone. So if you never leave the bubble, you'll never be able to experience the abundance and the magic that's been set aside just for you. Who convinced you that you couldn't do it? And why did you believe them? Never believe that you can't do better. That's an expensive lie that could end up costing you your future. Every time you believe that lie, you disregard all the success that you've had in the past. It's very nonsensical. Greetings and welcome back to another exceptional episode of the Renaissance Files podcast, where we aspire to inspire until we expire. You're tuning in for the third and final part of the Delayed Gratification mini-series. I'm your host Judas X, and today we're talking about self-limiting beliefs, the invisible ball and chain that's preventing you from taking your life to the next level. Just consider it to be a mental barrier that you've created in your mind. This episode is attached to the principle that sits at the top of the RFP pyramid of principles, the ceiling principle. It simply means never apply an artificial ceiling on your life and your potential, because you just never know just how far you can take it. So never limit yourself, because the only limitations you have are the ones that you choose to believe. So what is a self-limiting belief? By definition, a self-limiting belief is a deeply held, often unconscious, negative assumption that we have about ourselves, others, or the world around us, and we mistake this to be the truth and operate as such. These beliefs create mental barriers, and that's where the I'm not enough conversation begins. I'm not smart enough, I'm not educated enough, I'm not resourceful enough, I'm not good enough. These statements trigger self-sabotage and keep you trapped within your comfort zone. But the reality is this: all the magic that you're looking for happens just outside your comfort zone. So if you never leave the bubble, you'll never be able to experience the abundance and the magic that's been set aside just for you. If you say anything to yourself enough times, eventually you'll start to believe it, whether or not you have proof. Just consider it to be mental programming. As the great American philosopher William James once brilliantly said, the mental attitude of an individual at the beginning of a difficult task largely determines its successful outcome, even more so than ability. In other words, if you tell yourself you can or you can't, you're right. Self-talk is an extremely powerful tool. Your internal dialogue that you have with yourself on a daily basis will dictate exactly how you show up in the world. So you have to be mindful of what you're saying to yourself in private. That self-limiting mindset will prevent you from doing things that you're more than capable of doing. Sometimes it can stem from past experiences, or maybe something a friend or family member said to you that stuck. Mental programming can also come from outside, so you have to be careful about who you spend your time around, because if anyone says anything to you enough times, you'll eventually start to believe it. But two very important things to remember is that past experiences do not dictate future outcomes, and other people doubting your ability is never a problem. It's only a problem when you start to believe it. Word to domain: never let anyone put a label on you because you're not a shelf item. People label you based on how they see you. That does not mean that it's a reality. Listening to the wrong people could lead you astray and cause you to miss out on your purpose just because they can't see your ability. My high school accounting teacher called me stupid one time in a class, but I went on to do a double major in public accounting, business management, and finance. Just imagine where I would have been if I had internalized what she said to me. People can't see your potential. They can only see what you've produced up until this point. Not even you understand the full capabilities of your potential. So never settle for just scratching the surface because someone else fails to see your greatness. I can't tell you how much times things worked out way better than I could have hoped for just by taking a leap of faith. Renaissance Files podcast, this was a leap of faith that ended up turning into a body of work and intellectual properties that I now own. Starting the Renaissance collection was another leap of faith, and I went on to create things that I never imagined creating. So you just never know what will work until you give it a try. And I'll keep rolling the dice because everything is just for a time. Whether good or bad, this too shall pass. Nothing is ever as good or bad as it seems in the moment. Time gives you the distance you need to see the full picture. Your initial reaction is often incomplete because you just don't have all the information. Sometimes it may look like things are falling apart, but everything is falling right into place. A lot of things had to not work in order for this to work. It's just the seasons of life. You have to stand the rain if you want to enjoy the sunshine. When you pray for the blessings, you have to expect the rain too, because that waters the seeds of aspirations that you've planted. Just like the seeds need the water to grow, you also need the challenges in order to blossom. There's no advancement without resistance. Good intentions are almost always followed by disruption. Just take it as a sign that you're heading in the right direction. Sometimes the universe is just testing you to see if you're serious and if you mean exactly what you say. So never let a hard time humble you. The storm will come, that's a guarantee. It's unavoidable, but you have to push through if you want to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Giving up is easy. Finding an excuse is easy. Staying the course when everything against you, now that's challenging. But in that challenge is where you build the character that you need to go on to be the person that you need to be in order to do the thing that you want to do. Fearing failure and embarrassment is a waste of energy, because failure is how you identify the edge of your capabilities and areas for improvement. Fear of failure will cause you to miss out on the opportunity that you waited a lifetime for. It will stop you from scheduling the exam, taking that trip, asking that person out, or writing the book. But remember, failure is but a stepping stone to greatness. Failure is just part of the success formula. No one gets it right every time. Michael Jordan missed thousands of shots before he made the shot that made him a champion. So you have to expect that you'll have some artistic travesties before you create your masterpiece. The gap between where you are today and where you want to be is the leap of faith that you never took. Regret is a heavy load to carry, so don't wait until the end to reminisce on all the things that you could have done, because you get one shot at life. No do-overs. This is your one and only chance to do this thing right. I remember my sister Jaycie telling me about her experience moving back to Jamaica from Antigua to grow her business. Now, you might know her as the multi-talented Aruajae, the creative director, makeup artist, actress, content creator, and everything else in between. It's just too many to mention. So when I say multi-talented creative, I'm not exaggerating. You might see her walking on water soon. Yeah, but check out her page if you're interested in seeing more. So she's from Antigua, but she earned a bachelor's in fine arts in acting in Jamaica. When she completed the degree, she moved back to Antigua, but she came to the realization that there was not enough infrastructure and audience for her to grow her business in the way that she wanted to. She always had intentions to move back to Jamaica, but just never picked an intended date. And one time she just took a trip to visit and decided on a whim that she was gonna stay and just figure it out as she go. No, it wasn't a bed of roses by any stretch of the imagination. She ran into a lot of problems, setbacks, and challenges. But successful people are not people without problems. They're simply people who have learned to solve their problems. I remember asking her after a few months of her deciding to stay how it was going, and she said to me, "It's tough, but she feels like every time she put her foot out to take a step, it's almost like the ground came up to meet her feet to make every step easy." They really do say, when you make a decision, a lot of unseen forces rally together to support you on the journey. And word to the magnificent Patrick C. Walters, a risk is a chance when you take it, and a lane will only appear when you make it. So if you never take the step, if you never take the action, it's impossible for you to create that lane for yourself. That line from Patrick and Jaycie's story is the embodiment of what it means for you to take a chance on yourself and chase your dreams, because the perfect conditions will never come. There's no such thing as the right time, only the present time. What you do today will determine how you live tomorrow. So please don't wait till the end. The benefits of Jaycie's leap of faith are immeasurable. That one decision opened a floodgate of opportunities and chances that she would have never gotten if she stayed in Antigua. Like I said earlier, all the magic you see happens right outside your comfort zone. So make it a point to never wait for the perfect time to jump off the porch. There's no such thing as the perfect time, only the present time. Ideas materialize with action, and the plan starts to make sense when you're already in motion. So why would you let temporary failure create permanent regret? Like I said, this episode was based on the ceiling principle. Never apply an artificial ceiling on your potential or your life, because you just never know just how far you could take it. I'll quickly recap 4 major points in this episode. Number 1, the ceiling is yours, so you have the ability to break it. Self-limiting beliefs are just mental barriers that you create in your own mind. Remember, it's just mental programming, so you have to be mindful of the internal talk that you have with yourself. Never set an artificial limit on your life or potential. Number 2, you are not a shelf item. People label you based on how they see you, not based on your potential and what you can produce. People doubting you is never a problem. It's only a problem when you start to believe it. Don't hand over your potential to someone else's opinion. Number 3, the storm is part of your growth. You have to be able to withstand the rain if you want to enjoy the sunshine. The resistance waters the seed and causes it to grow. Remember, successful people are not people without problems. They are simply people who learn to solve their problems. So you have to stay the course, because when things get challenging, that's when you build character. And number 4, the gap is the leap that you never took. When you take a chance on yourself and you actually start to chase your dreams, that's when the plan will start to materialize. If you never take action, nothing will happen. Successful outcomes follow action. So we're now at the end of the episode, but just to quickly recap the mini series, we started out in episode 1, the importance of delayed gratification and intentional action, and how those 2 things create the success formula to get you to the promised land. In part 2, we covered the detriments of searching for external validation and how that prevents you from living the life that you were meant to live. Because if you live for the cheers, you die by the booze, and you'll never actually own your life because you'll always be performing for the crowd. And one key takeaway from that episode is the fastest way to kill a big dream is to share it with a small-minded person who lacks vision. And finally, number 3, we explored the detriments of self-limiting beliefs, the invisible ball and chain preventing you from maximizing your potential. And this marks the end of the delayed gratification mini-series. If you missed any of the parts, definitely do go back and check them out. Thank you for tuning in. If you found anything useful here, definitely like, subscribe, share with your friends, post it on your story, tell a friend, tell your mother, tell your father, tell everybody, and have them come and join the Renaissance family. And remember, you're only one change away from changing your life for the rest of your life. Until next time, continue elevating out of here.